90% of YouTube is all about your thumbnails and your titles. This is what we call your packaging. And that across your whole YouTube content is your YouTube brand. If you can do your thumbnails and your titles correctly and do it well, you can create a successful channel that's going to increase your income and bring you a bunch of new customers to your business or to your channel. Today we're taking a look at a channel that is doing so many things correctly. Their content is really great, but their thumbnails lack. And I'm going to show you how I would change this channel to make it grab that much more attention and keep people engaged, just simply from changing their thumbnails and their titles. This is Open Residency, and they talk about brands, they talk about content, they talk about anything social media related. This is what they do. And as you can see from just their cover banner, it's beautiful. It looks really nice. You can scroll down. It looks really nice. Now, on the surface, this looks really great. Their branding is great. By branding, I mean their colors. Their thumbnails look the same. Just a quick look at their titles. It looks like it's all in the same niche. You can tell what it is. So we have, we're going to just go in here, most valuable marketing. We're going to go to entrepreneurs, personal branding masterclass. He raised money, so maybe like a startup or an apparel brand, something like that. These habits make you dangerous. That one, I don't know what that one's about. T-shirt brand, TikTok strategy, meta ads. So you can see it's all about marketing, and that is all your brand should reflect. If you're doing marketing, if you're doing socials, if you're doing this, then make your brand about that. Don't be going and doing multiple niches in the same channel, because it just doesn't make sense for a viewer. Now, when you think about YouTube, you really think about when a video pops up onto a person's feed, will they click it? Will they be interested? And will they watch it? Does the click, the thumbnail, the title, does it match up with whatever is in the video? This is what we call usually clickbait. If it doesn't match up, then it's like, oh, you just clickbaited me into watching this video. Now, YouTube used to be like this multiple years ago, but now it's really honed in on making sure that the content that you click on isn't just clickbait, and it's what people want to watch. And you know people want to watch it if they click on it and they keep watching it. That's it. It's your watch time. And watch time is super important. But we're not going to get all into watch time right now. We're going to go into some of these things that they have done correctly and some things that they can make better. So we're going to go into two of the things that they've done correctly on the thumbnail title combination. So one of them is, we're just going to go to the ones that has the most views. And this is how you can tell what is actually working. It's not it's not a science to know that this is actually working, because the views are correct. Now, I'll give you an outlier here in a second on why that's a little bit misleading, but we're going to go first off to this TikTok video. And I have no idea who this guy is in the picture, but one thing I do know is that people like faces. So if you can get a face in the thumbnail like that, that's clear, that's showing some emotion, it's great. Who doesn't know about Mr. Beast's YouTube thumbnail? That face brings people in because it gives them some intrigue, some curiosity, and it lets them relate to the person in the video. So even though I have no idea who this is, a face is always good. It's better if you know who it is, but if you don't, who cares? So TikTok's #1 fastest growing brand. First off, title, nice and bold, you can read it. #1 fastest, that is a great eye catcher. #1 fastest. You don't even have to know what else is on the thumbnail, because you want to know what the title says. #1 fastest, what is it? The TikTok strategy for printing millions. So the #1 fastest, something about TikTok. That's great. If you're someone in social and you want to become great at TikTok, you're going to click. You don't even have to read all of it. And this is the whole point. The whole point is for people to click and expect them to talk about TikTok. Maybe all the intricacies of what they're talking about doesn't really matter. But if they can glance at it, be interested, click, start watching, that's it. All right, so let's go a little bit deeper into the text. So TikTok's #1 fastest growing brand. It's easy, it's clear, it's short, and it goes into the title. The TikTok strategy that's printing millions right now. So those two titles line up really good. Now it helps when you have contrasting text. So like something about TikTok's slowest brand versus the TikTok strategy that's printing millions right now. Something like that could work even better, but This is great because this is pointed to entrepreneurs and social media people, branding, content. I would even suggest that this TikTok strategy that's printing millions right now is kind of weird. I would say the TikTok strategy that made this company $100 million. Like that. It's more quantifiable. You can trust it more. That's printing millions right now. It's kind of lofty, but once again, the whole point is to get someone to click in and to watch. And so this does a good job of that. And you can see it's 26 times more views or higher views than what's normal on the channel. So it's doing really well. Now we can go over to Nick's. And so Nick's has a big 50 million in 2 years. Money always does great in thumbnails. And so what are you going to pair that with? 50 million in 2 years. So how do you do that? The new way to run meta ads in 2025. The title is perfect. It brings curiosity, and there's a gap between that. How do you run meta ads in 2025 and how do you make a bunch of money? So there's that gap in there that you want, and you want to give people, a little indication on what your video is about, and then meet it in the video. So there's that gap there. And how do you get 50 million? By running meta ads. How do you do it? By this new method. Okay, you have a whole package there that just lines up really great. And not to mention his face is clear. It looks good. And even though Nick is he has a good following on like Twitter and I'm not sure where else, but most people probably don't know his face. But it looks good. And it's much more clear than the Asian guys over here. And also the blue makes the black on Nick pop. So that looks really great. Either way, both of these thumbnails, even though they look a little bit different, they still look really great. So I don't really have much comment between there. We're going to go into, actually I wanted to hit one more right one, and this is this here. And I'm going to show you how this one, this masterclass could be used in a similar style to the first one. So you're doing content wrong. This is a great call out because it's pointing towards you, the audience. You are doing content wrong. Okay, what if I am? It brings a question into my mind. What if I am doing content wrong? All right, what's the title? A personal branding masterclass from beginner to expert in 20 minutes. Okay, so for me, that's even super helpful for me. It's like, oh, so he's gonna bring us into a beginner to expert and super fast in 20 minutes. And he's gonna tell me how I'm doing it wrong and how I can do it better. And why would I not click on this? This is great packaging. The only recommendation I would make is to make, I think this dude's name, I know he's popular on YouTube. Caleb, I think's his name. Make his face where you can see both of his eyes. Because this side profile is like, it kind of defeats the purpose of seeing a face. You can't really connect with a side profile. Like, you want me to talk like this? No, you want me to talk to you. So show me a little bit more of your face. Let him see kind of me. Bring me in a little bit more. And so that's what I would suggest there. I think that's a really great one. Personal branding masterclass. A free personal branding masterclass is always, it always brings people in because it's a free one, but it does really well because you're going from beginner to expert. So it's giving you that look ahead on what is going to happen in the video. If you're a beginner and you want to become an expert, you watch this. And so it gives you that more validity in why you would want to watch it. Also, personal branding has been hot for the last 5 years. And so something like this could do really well. And it also obviously is doing really well. Now let's go on to something that's not working well. CEO versus entrepreneur. The Calculate System Skull Tanning CEO uses that entrepreneurs don't. Okay, so first off, the faces are looking like backwards. So it's not bringing you in. It's just kind of there. It doesn't really drag you in. Even though there's red, bold containers, that's cool. But CEO versus entrepreneur looks whack. If you are a CEO or you're an entrepreneur, you're probably both. You're like, why do I need to know that? Who cares? Keep scrolling. So the text on the thumbnail is boring. The Calculate System simultaneously use that entrepreneurs don't. Boring. Like, what is this telling me? It's really not inviting me into anything. My curiosity is not piqued. There's no storytelling going on. If I wanted to know about calculated systems, I don't even know. What am I going to do? Calculus? Like, I understand what he's saying here, obviously, but I think it's just bad. So let's come up with an idea just on the spot. So CEO versus entrepreneur. I don't know. You got to pick out something that's better than that. Like, your system is, let's see, the system that made Skull Candy $100 million. Something like that could be the title. The thumbnail could also be 100 million in whatever, 10 years. Anything with money will do great. Just highlight it. You could also add a little bit of curiosity, saying not just Skull Candy, because a lot of people might not know Skull Candy, but you could do something like this the system this music titan used to build a $100 billion company. Something like that. I do like the parentheses there that entrepreneurs don't, but I don't like the text. I do like contrasting the title with something in the parentheses, but do something different. The calculate system Skull Candy CEO uses that entrepreneurs don't. It's just so boring. Let's not be boring. Let's do something different. So I'm gonna move over to Oren's, and I love Oren. Actually, I have his content pulled up here. I think he does a really great job with his content. He's growing. His thumbnails are not uniform, but sometimes that's okay. I would probably suggest for it to be more uniform, but since he has his face on it, it works decently well. You can see like some of his stuff. Look, this has 140k views. That's great. 11, 14, 8.7. I bet if he stayed more consistent with his thumbnails, he would get more views because people want to see his stuff. He has a lot to say that's really good. And also, this is funny. This is the future. That's exactly the same branding as this over here. So that's kind of funny. We can also see with Advertising 101 is very similar to Callaway's thumbnails, which I think he does an excellent job, and he teaches all about YouTube and social media and stuff like that. So Oren is great. He has an audience, and this is why I think the views here are a little bit misguided, because Oren is a well-known influencer around branding, marketing, he's got like 500k on Instagram, stuff like that. So I think his face might draw a little bit more attention. Now, I think with this, even though it is doing well, it's still kind of boring. I cracked the code. Gives me a little bit of curiosity. But I would even more so put, like, if you want to attract entrepreneurs and creators and marketing people, like with meta ads, operators, put the money in the title just like you did with Nick. Like, put 100 million and 3 years, whatever it may be. I think that would work better. The most valuable marketing conversation to watch in 2025. I think that's also a good one. It does give me curiosity. It gives me kind of this like, what do I expect? Is this actually going to be a valuable conversation or not? His face looks nice. The text looks nice. It all looks nice. The packaging is nice, but it could be better. So what about the title? The most valuable marketing conversation you'll watch in 2025. I think that's pretty good. I think I had an idea. I made some notes a while ago, but the new way to run social media as a brand in 2025. Something like that. The new way, because I watched this video, and so there's a lot of like highlights in there, but the new way to run social as a business in 2025 could be really great. Something, I think, even just reflecting this, the new way to run blah 2025. Great title. The new way to do blah 2025. Great. It's great. So even though the views are there, I think it could just go one level up by changing the text in the thumbnail. I think you could even do a little bit better by pushing Oren's face back a little bit, because look at this jacket. I wanted to show you this jacket on here. Oh wait, where is that thing? Look at this jacket on here. It's colorful. I would even probably zoom more in here, so just say a little bit more of the jacket, because it's creative, it catches the eye. Obviously his face is way more important, but 100 million brand deals, have his face. No, they don't go over direct numbers in the video. I think it would be worth it to put it on there if you want to attract that. So, alrighty, so that's some insight into how I would make this channel open residency just that much better. And I think just small tweaks in your titles, your thumbnails, and your content over time really does well. So revisit your channel, revisit your thumbnails, revisit your titles, and tweak it to be just a little bit better each time. When you post a new video, tweak it to make it that much better. And every time you make content, pick out titles, pick out thumbnails before you make your content, and then test them. and then tweak them as you see fit. And so keep doubling down on what's working. So, you know, Nick's video, Oren's as well, personal masterclass, like keep doubling down on that. And you can even reuse the same thumbnails or the titles and the thumbnails. You're doing social media wrong. You're doing meta ads wrong. You're doing blah 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 wrong. Like double down on those things, because if they're working, they can keep working. And then, if you need to change them later, you can do that. But try things. Help out as a fix 98% of your problems. You can say you're doing habits wrong. Something like that. Okay, so that's my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think. And that's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.